Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, again, my name is Lainey and I am a current VIP kid teacher as well as a recent hire with Outschool, and I am here to provide you with all the tips and tricks to help you get started with Outschool and to separate yourself from what every other teacher is doing, which is why I'm here today to talk to you about what's going to help you to stand out from every other teacher on Outschool and to help you increase your bookings, because that's what we all want, right? We all want to see more learners in our classroom so that we can see the type of pay that we're expecting and hoping to get. But that's never going to happen if you're not going to deliver what these parents are expecting to get for their children. But before we get started, I have a shout out to give to this teacher right here for her baking class all about sprinkle cookies. If you did not see my last video, I am starting something where I'm shouting out other Outschool teachers and sharing some classes. And every time I do a YouTube video, I will be picking a winner and sharing and shouting out their account here on my YouTube channel. So if you would like your chance to be shouted out on my YouTube, please feel free to comment down below with your Outschool class. If you could even leave a link for me so that I can go straight to it instead of having to search, that would be awesome. And I would love to be able to shout you out as well. Also, I'm gonna lead you right here to my Instagram. If you're not already following me, I highly encourage you to do so. I am very active on Instagram and I share a lot of information in my stories about tips and tricks with Outschool, as well as tons of class information that's going on in my own classes. So hopefully that could help you as well. And if you are in the process or considering applying for Outschool, I highly recommend a referrer, whether that's me or not. Please find somebody that's going to help you. That is their job. If you would like to be a referral of mine, my link is down below. No pressure. But either way, I hope you find a referrer that's going to help you, because the hiring process is a very quick and easy process, but half of my referrals get declined and half get accepted. Most of the time, the ones that utilize me are the ones that are getting accepted. So I'd love to help you along the way to that journey. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about how to stand out from every other teacher on Outschool and to increase your bookings, because we all want that. We want full classes, tons of learners, and all that money, right? Let's be honest, we want all that money. There's a number of ways that you can stand out from teachers on Outschool, and the first of which is to do your research. Do your research. I live my life by the motto of you have to put in the work to show your worth. No one is going to understand what you have to offer if you're not willing to put the work into it and to research and learn more and more and more. And that means that maybe you are a phonics lover. Maybe you love to teach beginning reading skills, and that's amazing and great. But you can't just decide, okay, I'm going to teach this class and put it up. I mean, you could actually. But do you think that you're going to see the type of success that you want if you don't do the research and see what other teachers are offering, and if you're able to offer something that no one else is offering? If there are 100 classes on phonics, as an Outschool parent, how am I going to decide which one to take? I'm going to choose the one that's different, the one that offers more, the one that's not just a class where my student is going to sit there and look at a computer screen and listen to you talk. That's not going to happen. I'm going to do the one that offers more, whether that's a printable, which we'll talk about, whether that's a fun game or something that nobody else is offering. I want something that's going to be way different, that looks like this teacher put the time in because they care, and not somebody who's just doing the basics of the basic, because I don't want that for my own child, and I know a ton of other Outschool parents that aren't going to want that for their children. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to mention that I also talked about in my last video about ways to get you fully booked. How can you be fully booked? And a couple of those things that kind of roll into separating yourself from other teachers on Outschool is your title and your photo. Those are the first two things that any parent is going to see. And there's so many ways that you can separate yourself from all of the other teachers. Now, this is not to say anything bad about other Outschool teachers who are on Outschool. Maybe they've seen success with some of the titles that they have. But if you were a parent, would you want a class where the title says CVC Blends? And it literally has like a picture of a bunch of letters. I mean, you could choose that, but if you were going to choose that up against something that says maybe CVC Master, a fun game to instill CVC blends for your learner. Now, it sounds like a lot, but like to me, I feel like, okay, all right, so like this isn't just a CVC class. This is a class where my child is going to master CVC blends and they're going to play a fun game, and that's how they're going to remember it. That's how my child is going to master CVC blends, is by playing a fun game, because it's going to be something that they remember because they had so much fun. That sounds way more interesting to me. And if you have a picture with the class that just says CVC blend, a picture with just letters, or if you have CVC Master, I don't even remember, what did I say? CVC Master, a fun game for your children to learn and remember CVC blends, whatever I said. If you had that with a picture of a girl, of the teacher, with a ton of letters all around her, which would you choose? You're gonna choose the one that looks like you, first of all, don't have to go and click on her profile to see her, because let me be real with you, as an Outschool parent, I'm not watching any Outschool parent videos. Maybe the first time that I ever put my daughter in a class I did, but after that, no, I don't do that. I don't. Because your initial response is to look at the picture and the title, and then of course the little description, the one sentence description that it has. But for me, if I can avoid having to like go to a teacher's profile, I'm going to want to avoid to do that. So if you have your picture on your photo, just like I do for my paleontology class, for my tornado class, all of these classes that you see, my LOL doll individuality class, my picture is on those. So I am very recognizable, and maybe they've taken a class with me before, or maybe they don't want to go all the way to my profile to see me and what I look like or what I do. They're gonna see my picture, they're gonna love my title, and they're gonna say, click, enrolled. Title and photo are very, very important. It's your first impression. You have to put time into these things. You can't just throw up a stock photo. It's not going to be as successful as a picture where maybe you took a little bit more time to personalize it, to brand yourself. You as a teacher, whether you believe it or not, you're a brand, especially with Outschool. You are a brand. So make sure that you're showing your brand, which is you as a teacher. And those are going to be very important. Very, very important. Maybe one of my top ones, other than doing your research. So another way that I find I'm able to separate myself from other teachers on Outschool is by what I'm offering in class, what I'm offering to give them in class, which usually involves printables. I like to make my own printables. This is another way that I stand out. No one else is going to have the printables that I am going to have. Why? Because I make them from scratch, original, for myself, and I do that using Canva. My next YouTube video that's coming out is going to be all about how I use Canva to help with making my photos for my classes and also for making my printables for my classes. I'm going to show you guys how step by step I do that and what my process is like. I am a huge fan of Canva Pro. I know that they recently increased their prices. I think it's maybe $9.99 a month if you pay up front for the year. To me, worth it. Worth it. That's another thing. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. If you're not willing to do that, then you're not showing that you feel like you're worthy. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm talking to you right here. You have to make sure that you know what you're worth, and that means that sometimes you have to invest in yourself. And in order to make money, you have to spend money. And I've learned that well over the past few years in creating my own brand for what I am as a teacher, as a mom, as a blogger. All of these things, I have learned that you have to invest in yourself and you have to spend money to make money. And anyone who feels like they don't need to pay that, then I would love to see how you're doing it. Can holla at your girl, because I feel like for me, Canva is used on a daily basis. I use it for things for my own children separately at home, personal things. I use it for my blog. I use it for my Instagram. The things that you can do with Canva are unreal. They also have a free 30-day trial. Try it out. Also, they have a free version. You don't have to buy the pro one. I mean, I'll suggest the pro one, but you don't have to buy the pro one. Printables are really important. Take a look at these that I just made for my paleontology class. So in that class, it's a summer camp. In the first class of the summer camp, we talk a lot about the difference between carnivores and herbivores. And I made both of these from scratch. And I came up with the idea all on my own. And I decided, how can I allow these 4-year-olds to remember the words carnivore and herbivore? So I decided to do tracing letters, which I purchased this font from someone off of Teachers Pay Teachers. Again, I invested in myself. And then I went and I created these and I said, okay, let me do one sheet for herbivores and one sheet for carnivores. And what I do is I allow my students in class to pick up the carnivore sheet and I say, can you color either meat or plants? Carnivores. What do carnivores eat? Can you color what carnivores eat? And then they will hold them up and they will show me they eat meat, right? And then after class, if they want to, they can continue to color this. Parents are gonna love that. It's gonna distract their children. It's gonna give them another moment to themselves. Parents are gonna love that. So let them have this. And so they don't have to color the whole thing in class. They don't. They can do it after class. Same thing with my astronaut training class. In my astronaut training class, I created my own coloring sheet of an astronaut. And I'm going to show a picture of it because I don't have it sitting right here. I'm going to show a picture of it. And in class, I have them draw. Sorry for my lighting. I'm going to have them, I have them draw their faces in the astronaut helmet, but I don't have them color it. I have them do that after class if they would like, to give them something else to keep my class going after the class is over. Parents are going to enjoy that. They're going to love it. And then maybe 2 weeks from now, they want to do it again. They can print it again and do it again. So you're investing in yourself and you're investing in your students and you're giving the parents something extra that they're going to want to enroll their kids in. I want my daughter to do fun things like this when she's enrolled in a class. I do. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is perfecting your craft. And when I say your craft, I mean you being a teacher. That's your craft. You are teaching. That's what you're good at. How can you perfect it? For example, something that I talked about in my Instagram stories today is that recently I listed a new summer camp, and it's a paleontology summer camp. It's a 2-day class, and it's all about how to become a paleontologist and how do paleontologists learn more about dinosaurs. And after teaching a couple of those last week, I decided I hated it. I hated it. Literally hated it. I just knew that it wasn't up to par with what I wanted to offer. And this is what I love about Outschool, is that when you list a class, you have your description that you send to them that is shown to the parents, and it needs to be descriptive, but it's not exact. You don't have to give like every detail of your lesson plan. And so that allowed me to be able to tweak what I had already created for this paleontology class. Specifically for the very first class. I didn't love the very first class. The second one I was much more happy with. I knew that I needed more. And I think that I knew that it needed a printable. It needed something other than me just yapping to these children, right? And so that's part of what I talked about. Printables, how do you stand out? I had a printable for the second class and something fun for us to do the second class, but I wasn't offering anything fun for the first class. And so I knew that there was more I needed to do, which is why I created these printables. And so part of standing out is knowing when you need to do more, knowing that you want to be the best of the best. You want to be at the top. You want all of those parents to want to have class with you. And by the parents, I mean their learners, to have class with you. And that means that you have to put in the work. You have to show what you're worth. Just like I said before, you have to show these parents that you're investing the time, and they're going to want to invest in you also. And that's why I feel like I keep getting repeat students, is because I'm hopefully showing these parents that I'm putting a lot of time into this. I recently saw a YouTube video, and this is not to say anything bad about the teacher who made this video, because she made a lot of very valid points and very honest points, that with with Outschool, you hear a lot about how much pay you make, that you have the opportunity to make a lot of money with Outschool, which is very true and it's very appealing. And part of the reason, obviously, why I love Outschool is because I get to dictate how much money I make. I know what I'm worth and I want to be paid that, right? And she said that you hear a lot about that, but you don't hear anything about how much work it is. Guys, if you don't realize from the jump how much work it is for this, to be paid $94 an hour, if you think in order to be paid $94 an hour that you don't have to put that time in, you are seriously mistaken. You are seriously mistaken, and you're not going to be the best of the best teacher that you can be, the best teacher for your learners, the best in life that you want, because you need to invest more time, whether that means researching, learning more, learning Canva. That's investing in yourself, and that's putting the work in, right? And I don't even consider that, to be honest with you. I don't even consider that in the time, for how much money I'm making. I don't consider it because it's something that I feel like I should be doing on my own in life in general. I live to learn. I learn all the time, whether it's YouTube, Instagram algorithms, or it's learning more about space and astronauts, or about Diplodocus or Troodon. Literally, if there's something I can learn, I crave it. I crave to learn more so that I can know more and I can be more, right? And I hope that you guys feel inspired to do that, that with Outschool, it's this creative outlet that you have the opportunity to do so many things, but more than that, you have the opportunity to become a better person, right? That's how I feel, honestly, to be frank with you guys. That's how I feel. Outschool gives me the opportunity to be a better person. And if I think for 1 second that I'm going to be making $94 an hour, which is what I've been making the past few days, that I'm not going to have to put those hours in, then I'll never be successful. I'll never get fully booked classes like I've been getting, but I'm putting the time in. So it's really important that if you feel like you need to perfect something, that you need to give more, then do it. Put that time in, put that work in, and that's going to show to every single parent, and that's going to make you stand out from the other teachers who aren't willing to do that, who are doing the basics. You have to do more than the basics, and you can. You totally can. I hope that you guys found some sort of inspiration in this video and ways to help you with your Outschool classes. If you like today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. My next video that's coming out later this week is all about Canva, how I create my printables, and how I create my class photos, what my process is for that. So I know you guys are going to enjoy it because it's probably one of my top asked questions for sure. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.